Hi everyone, welcome. Today I'm here to share with you my new crafting obsession, which is cross stitch. So this will be my first floss tube. Now, like my husband will say, I'm a jack of all trade, master of none, which means I'm sure there's many of you who have more than one craft. And so crafts that I do is scrapbooking, some card making, I do Bible journaling, I crochet, I macrame, and now I have found cross stitch, and it has really taken over my crafting. And I'm just here to share for you as a beginner for those that might be um, have thought about start cross stitching. Um, I'm just here to share and maybe for you to join along, and we can learn together and just enjoy this craft. Now, I'm a wife of 24 years and a mom of two daughters who this year will be 17 and 22. Now, years ago, my best friend cross stitch, and I saw she had this big, beautiful um, cross stitch up on her wall, and she was also busy cross stitching the Last Supper. And I just thought, yeah, you know, that's just too old fashioned for me. It's not something that I would do. And yeah, I'm 20 years on and I'm cross stitching and loving every minute of it. And I've come to learn there's so much more in if you're looking in history about cross stitch. And today there are just so many different designers out there, and you can find some uh, designs that are modern um, that you like to cross stitch. Now, um, what would I like to say? I've now completely forgotten what I want to say. Okay, yes. So how I got into cross stitch, I started in February this year, and I follow a paper crafter, Nicole Spohr, and she in December she does what she calls Vlogmas, where she just shares every single day of what she's doing, and in there she shared a lot of her cross stitch things, and that's how I also found her Flosstube. And in February, watching her Flosstube, she shared Fat Quarter Shop's free pattern, which was what was it called? Cherry. Oh my word! Now I've completely forgotten what it is called. I think it's Cherry Love, and I love cherries. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give this a try because I have tried it before. You know, those little Hobby Lobby little kits, and that just didn't work for me. And I think it's just you know, the thread and everything, and so I decided, let me try this. And I just went down to Hobby Lobby, got myself some 14 count Ada, some DMC threads, and I cross stitched it. Made some mistakes, had to pull things out, redo things, but I completed it and I loved it so much. I then went and I bought the add-on pattern. So this is the little free pattern, which I then just finished in a pillow like this that you can see. I'm sure for those cross stitches that have been cross stitched for years, you'll be able to see some mistakes, but this was for a first time, it was great. I thought it was wonderful. This might just glare. Then I did another one. Sorry if this is glaring. That was another pattern. This one I bought and decided to just do some more cherries. I cross stitched too close to the edge, so I couldn't put it on a board and leave it without the glass. So that's why I've just put it in that frame. That's a frame that they also shared on Fat Quarter Shop, and they just shared the frame that I got from Hobby Lobby. So I just got that. Now, then obviously that was February. And unbeknownst to me, there's such a thing as Nashville Needlework Market, where all the designers, the first week of March, I think it is, they go down to Franklin, Nashville, and they release all their new patterns. And all the online stores and your needlework, local needlework stores, um, will release what will be coming up, so you can pre-order um, your patterns that'll be released. And then once all the wholesalers and the shops come back from the market with all the patterns, then they'll ship it out to you. So I did some shopping for that and got more patterns. So I'll just show you some that these are ones that I've actually got, and I've completed them, which I will show you. So I love this one. I have a photo of this one because this finish, my daughter's just gone to England to visit her best friend, and her best friend's mom is my best friend. And so we sent that with her. I did stitch along with Nicole's paw, and this is Patriotic Pears. Oh, I love this one. I love Easter, so I did that one from Hands On Design. Here's another Easter one. Annie Bees, actually, she just lives a half an hour away from us. We are in the Madison, Wisconsin area. And obviously, as you can hear by my accent, we are not from the United States. We, in July, it will be 3 years ago that we moved to the US from Cape Town, South Africa. And my husband got a transfer to the US offices, and it is up in Wisconsin. So we do get the question, well, why would you come from sandy beaches, beautiful Table Mountain, to Wisconsin where it's snowing and freezing? But we didn't have a choice, and we love it up here. I love the winter, I love the cold, so I'm enjoying the snow, and it has really been fun for us. Different, but we are enjoying it. So that is where we are at the moment. So yeah, so let's quickly, I've written all my things down here that I don't forget. Okay, so this is for the beginners, for those people thinking of starting. If you would please join me. I'm cross stitching on my own. I don't have any cross stitchy friends, or actually any crafty friends for that matter. So I would love to join going to a retreat, but I just feel like I don't want to go on my own, So if there are some more beginner cross stitchers that feel like me, you're on your own and you want to start, leave me a comment, send me a message. Let's start this craft, learn this craft together, and maybe we can meet up at a retreat and just enjoy all the fiber arts and crafty things. So what I did was, with a pattern that was shared, learning just the basics of cross stitch, I went on Fat Quarter Shop, has got a what they call Cross Stitch University, and I think it's 6 YouTube videos where they go through the basics from the beginning, how to start your stitch, different ways to do your crosses. They go through the fabric, the counts, and all that. So that was informative, and I just went from there. I did those videos, cross-stitched myself, made mistakes, learned along the line, and then started watching FlossTubes. I think hundreds and hundreds of hours of FlossTubes, and I'll share some of my favorite FlossTubers with you. And so when you're watching FlossTubes, you will hear people saying whips, FFOs, LNS, and I was like, what in the world are they talking about? So I will just go through those little acronyms for you, so you will get it quicker when you're watching all these FlossTube videos, if you're a beginner like me. So you'll have something like new starts, which makes sense. It's a new pattern that you've started. Your whips, that is your work in progress. Now, when I started, I thought I'm one of those. I'm a finisher. I started, I sit down and I cross stitch it and I finish it and I move on to the next one. Well, and I just thought that's just how I would do it. And watching these FlossTubers, some of them have got 45 to 90 whips, and some of them are years old, and I'm thinking, oh no, I can't do that. That would just drive me insane. Well, I quickly learned that there's a reason why you have whips, because I had started a bigger one, cross stitch pattern, and I made some mistakes, and you're pulling out, you end up getting frustrated. And then what's nice is you just put that one down, you take another one that you've got and you kind of start on cross stitching that one, and then you can go back to the other one again. And so since then I have got quite a couple of whips, and all my patterns that I have, or charts that I have purchased, they are all kitted up, so I can choose any of them. I've got them ready to start and to do that. So that's, I now get it, why people have works in progress. I don't think I'll have 45 or 90 because that might just be too overwhelming. But yes, so that is your works in progress. So it's very interesting to see how they share all their whips. And it's also nice, what I found is, as people are sharing different ones, there might be some designs or designers that you haven't seen before that might interest you, and hence I have ended up buying some more patterns and things like that. Then you have your finishes, which would be something like this, that you have finished. Let me just, there we go. So this is a Primrose Cottage Christmas one that I've done, and that is a finish. Then you get, which took me a while to figure out, a FFO. I thought, wow, what a wonderful language these people are using here. But that is a fully finished object, FFO, fully finished object. So once I'd done my cherries, I went and I got some patterns, because for me, cross stitch will be for seasonal decor. I like decorating for the seasons. So the things that I'm going to cross stitch will be, little things that will be used for decoration. Don't think I'm the kind of cross stitcher that will be cross stitching big things, putting them in frames and up on my wall. I've got a very modern husband that likes things symmetrical, and unless it will be my craft room, cross stitch will not be going up on our walls. So I'll just show you some of my other fully finishes. This was also a Primrose Cottage. Oh, let me see, there we go. Hello Summer. And I just completed it with little 2026 charm little packet that I bought from Amazon, some ribbon, and then these little flower pins that just come from Hobby Lobby. Now that is the back stitch, and I just actually glued this on. I did not stitch it on. So I just bought a few that were seasonal for me that I started working on. Here is a little, also Primrose Cottage Thanksgiving one. This one I fold with just cut open a hole, and then I just stitch a little pumpkin on there. Then obviously when I was busy, it was Valentine's Day, so I just did, I think this was also a free pattern. So for those looking at wanting to cross stitch, and you don't want to spend money, there are many free patterns, lovely patterns that you can get, and DMC thread is pretty inexpensive, 65-69 cents for a skein, so that is pretty worth it. And this was also a Primrose Cottage, what's called a Quaker. So you'll learn all different kinds of styles in cross stitch. Like this is a Quaker. Then you have samplers, which that is the part of cross stitch that I thought was a little bit old fashioned. But once you get to learn the history and the things behind it, I've actually decided I'm going to stitch. There's two. I'm going to start one on my birthday, which is in July. And then I'll start one for the new year. So that will be something different that I'll be doing. So what else? So yes, we've spoken about another word that they use is you go to your local L&S, and that is your local needlework store. So I think learned all the lingo. I don't have a needlework store close to me. I have lots of quilting, but not a specific cross stitch shop. So there is one that's recently opened down in Illinois, in Roscoe. Is it, oh man, Beautiful Sip and Stitch or Cross Stitch or something? I will link it below for those that are in this Wisconsin, northern Illinois area. And so that's like a 50-minute drive down, and I will go down there because I like seeing fabric. It's very difficult for me buying fabric that I want to use online. So it's nice to go to a needlework store. And it's also just nice to go and see other people that are cross stitching. They have like just open free stitching times that you can go and stitch and that. So I would love to go down there some other time and go and have a look at all the things, which might be a little bit dangerous. But so then you get different flosses. So you get DMC overdyed floss, satin floss. So you can make cross stitch kind of as expensive as you want or as inexpensive as you want. So it's really nice for if you're looking to start a craft, because what I like about it, because I'm a paper crafter doing scrapbooking and Bible journaling, those are things that you cannot really take with you if you're going on holiday or for a long drive or anything like that. But something like if you crochet, you could, and then cross stitch. Cross stitch is something very mobile. You know, if you're sitting at a game of your children and you can cross stitch, which is fun. Something I've done is I love baseball, so I watch baseball every single night. The Braves, any Braves fans out there? And before I would just sit in front of the TV and I would just watch baseball. Now what's lovely is I'm watching baseball and I can cross stitch, so I'm getting using my hands, getting crafty, and getting through my patterns. Now, most of the purchasing I've done, because we don't have a local needlework store too close by, has been online. And so I'll just tell you a few of my favorites. So if you are new to cross stitch and wanting to just go and see what's out there before you start, one of my favorite ones is Primrose Cottage. That's a lot of the patterns that I've showed you already. Lindsay does wonderful cross stitch patterns. And what's wonderful also about them is they do finishing kits. So sometimes they will do your pattern and they will have a finishing kit, which means it will come with, let's say, your backing fabric and all your trim and things to actually complete it. So that makes it nice. You don't have to go out to the store to go and get it, because I think what happens is you finish cross stitching it and then you still need to go and get fabric, or you don't know how to finish it, for those that might not be as creative and that. So they give you that option. You can just purchase the finishing kit. Sometimes also they do the full kit, where you get the fabric, the floss, and then the finishing kit, which is really great for, especially for beginners and you want to complete a project. So that's why I like Primrose Cottage. I'll just also share with you something they've just did, that for those of you looking maybe to start and you like subscriptions or a box of goodies to get you started, they've just released their Sip and Stitch, which they do, I think, 2-3 times a year. And that is, you pay and a surprise box comes with patterns, with your with a nice drinking vessel, some goodies like needle binders, bag charms, and your patterns, your floss, everything you need to complete it. So that was really a treat. Mine came on Saturday and I'm looking forward to stitching those. Then a few others is Lindy Stitches. You can go and look at her Flosstube. She is very funny. Love her shop. They've got also a wide variety of products, fabrics, stitching, and she also works with a lot of designers, or actually FlossTubers, that are doing stitch-alongs. There we go, stitch-along. There's another little word for you that they use, a cell, stitch-along. So I joined Nicole Spore's stitch-along for the Patriotic Pairs, and Lindy's Stitches online store had the finishing kit together, so you could purchase the fabric and everything you needed from them. So that's just wonderful. Everybody's in the community works together. Then what Lindy Stitches also does is online events. So if you can't get to retreats, and for some people it's just too difficult or quite pricey, they do online retreats, in a sense, where they just did Spring Mingle, where you can go into Zoom rooms, stitch with people. There are some classes that they teach that you can join. And so that's also just a fun way. In the comfort of your home, you can also do like a little stitch along retreat. And the one that I would I'm going to be joining with them is Jingle Ball. I love Christmas, so I think that's where I will spend my money and join Jingle Ball with Lindy Stitches. Fat Quarter Shop. Fat Quarter Shop is also a quilting store. So if you're into quilting and that, they do quilting and all the cross stitch and things. So I've purchased a lot there. Wonderful Ada fabrics that they have. What else? Then if you're looking for knowing how to finish your product, Chantal from 141 Design, she does all the, do I have one? Yeah, let me see. Like these wooden finishing boards. So this one was working with that. She also works with designers if they want something for their designs, and then what they'll do. So this is one that I got from Hands On Design for a pattern that I bought at the needlework market. So that board goes with that stitch. It fits on here exactly. So that also saves you. You just can purchase her different. Oh, she's got beautiful ones. She's got stands, little boxes, dough bowls and things. So, and she also does a floss tube and then like process video for how to paint it. She also sells the paints and things for the wooden display frames. So that's also a wonderful shop. And then you have, I think I shop online the most from 123 Stitch, because they have a vast variety of fabrics, patterns, all the patterns that you might not get in the other stores, all the floss, the different kinds of floss. And what's great for me is they I think sit in Texas. I'm in Wisconsin and I have my parcel within 3 days. They are, I think literally every time I have ordered something, within a couple of hours I get the email to say your parcel has been shipped. So if when you run out of something or you need something quick, that's 123 Stitch is definitely a place to go. So those are some of the stores. There are many more. Obviously, almost local needlework stores also have their online shops. So there's, I'm sure, many stores out there that you could browse. But those are kind of the big ones and the one that you usually see out there and FlossTubers talk about. Now, what else? I've got my little notes. Oh, okay. So let's name. I will link the stores and FlossTubers in the description below, so that you can, if you want to go and have a look at some FlossTubers that I follow. Is obviously Nicole Spoor. She's a paper crafter, but also a cross stitcher and quilter. So she's amazing. What I love about her, she's very detail orientated. She explains things well and, very helpful, and does lots of lives also. And so I've done some stitch alongs with her, so it's really amazing. So I love Nicole Spoor. Then another one, Jessica from Sweetwater Stitcher. She's down in Florida, also lovely. She's just recently started knitting, so she also shares yarn and knitting information. Then a mom and daughter duo, I think they're in Colorado, called Unfinished Stitches. The daughter's Madison, I can't remember the mom's name. Also lovely. They have lots and lots of whips. And what's nice is they work on a variety of different kinds of patterns, which is also nice to see. The Tiny Modernist, she is also a designer, so she designs patterns and that. Sarah Stitchery, who else is there? Mrs. Jones Stitches. These are all very well-known FlossTubers. And then a new FlossTuber, oh man, I love her. She's so nice, is the Blooming Stitcher. She also she's been quilting for years, and about 8 months ago she started cross stitching, and she's onto her third floss tube. So she is also a new floss tuber. So that's nice to know that there's also people, if we like, for beginners like us, that there are floss tubers sharing who has also started and wanting to learn as as you go along. So those are some floss tubers that you can watch and that. So there's a lot to learn And what's wonderful, I found it's a very, I don't want to say close knit community, but a very helpful community. If you join the Facebook groups, people are very helpful there, sharing things, saying where they've found a finish or someone's looking for a certain pattern. People share that on there or, give you information. So it's a very, very supportive community. Now, let me see. So something I thought I'll just show you what I, how I, what do you want to say, organized when I started cross stitch. So what I did was, didn't think I was going to get a lot of cross stitch things, when you start. So what I did is I just bought these little mesh bags for 99 cents at Hobby Lobby. And I just used my cutting machine and I just cut out some vinyl. And what I did is I did seasonal ones because I thought I decorate for seasons and I'll put my seasonal stitching in those bags. So I did summer, fall, what did I do? Winter. I did do a Christmas one. I did do a Valentine one, and I put them in these little bags. I kitted them up. So what I would do is let's see if I would just, do I have one in this one? Yeah. I just put my pattern with my fabric and my floss in a plastic packet and inside here. Very quickly to learn when cross stitch gets a hold of you. Summer, winter, spring, Christmas, that's not enough. So all of my patterns are now kind of in one of these on their own. So I've done different sizes. So let's quickly see. Yeah. So I just have this size for a pattern that's small that fits in. Then what I've done, I've got stitching obviously for the 250th, lots of patriotic. So I just put them all in here. Now, this is very simple. So then I've just got my pattern, my floss, and I just take them out as I need them. You'll find a lot of FlossTubers have got beautiful project bags. I've actually got some fabric and I'm going to just stitch some project bags for myself. So like I said, you get if you buy a pattern or cross stitches designers release a new range, you'll get a needle minder, you'll get the bag charm, you even maybe get a themed project bag. So like I said, you can go out completely with your cross stitch, or you can just be inexpensively. These are 99 cents for now. They are working for me. I would sew my own cross stitch bags or with my own fabric and that. But yeah, for me, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do not have a job, so let's just say my husband's already saying, "Oh, what did you buy at Primrose Cottage? I see another order came through from 123 Stitch." And I was like, "Yes." Don't you have enough already? I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't think you're ever gonna have enough. You're just gonna keep on buying because every month, every season, new releases, and designers don't just release one. It's like 4, 5, 6 different patterns. So, you've got to get them. So that is how I store mine. Very simple in these 99 cents bags. I mean, my daughter works for Charlie's Fairs. They've just started working now at all the county and state fairs in Wisconsin, and they did this little sticker, 250th. So I just stuck that on, and they also did a little celebrate the 250 years. So I just added that on. So you can do your own little charms and things to personalize it, to know what's in each bag. So what I've got all my works in progress. What I've done is I've moved on from a little bag where all my things are in to a 3-tier, one of those Michael's 3-tiered trolleys. So I've moved on, so you can see my patterns have expanded. So it's now in a 3-tier trolley. On the top, I've got a little wooden lid, and in the first one is just all my thread and floss. Then the second tray is all my whips that I'm working on, and then the third one is all my ones that have been kitted up that I'm still going to be working. Another thing, like I say, can be as inexpensive as you want, but something I did do, the unfinished stitches share this. Dangerous watching FlossTube because people share things and then you have to have it. So this is the little Lori Holt stitchy buddy, I think. And then it comes with a these little 4 clips in different colors. It has a metal thing so you can put your needle minders on and your pattern and just clip that on, and then that just sits next to me, and very easy because your pattern's right there that you can look at while you're stitching. So that's something fun. So there are loads of things out there that you can purchase, but if you're starting out just like me, you can just go off to Hobby Lobby, get yourself some DMC 14 count, and then move on from there. So for me, if you look at this little pillow, you can see the little holes. So that's like a 14 count, so you can still see the holes. And when I did it, obviously it's very easy. You don't need a magnifying glass. You can see it in light to stitch. And when I finished this pillow, I just felt it didn't look, pretty, or not pretty enough, I want to say, but just not the way I want it to look. I prefer a more linen kind of look. So when you go up in the different counts, you also can do cross stitch on Ada or cross stitch on linen. So what I do, just when I bought new needlework market patterns, I just went with a called for to try and learn stitching on different counts of fabric and trying to find what I like the most. And so I think I find easy and nice and comfortable, especially if it's a big thing. I'm stitching like a 28 count, and 28 to 32. I don't mind 36. I just did now by myself some 40 count, so I'm going to try and stitch on 40 count for a pattern of I can't remember now, and see how that goes. So there's so many different things out there. So the other thing I wanted to show you, what else? Another finish that I did, lots of patriotic things. This is a free pattern from Erica Michaels. It's called the 250 Berry. Now this is a little berry. So there's different ways that you can finish also your cross stitch. So it doesn't have to be boring. I just thought you just put it in a frame and that's what you can do. And there are just so many different ways. There are wonderful finishing people that finish products and that. So I didn't do the berry. I just felt I did it and put it in a frame. And this is in my seasonal tree that I have up in my dining room. I did it that way because when you did the berry, you didn't see the justice and liberty. So I just like that, and I wanted something that said 250 on my patriotic tree out in my dining room. And what else did I want to share? Okay, what I'm going now, I did not bring, I have to show you that, or maybe not. Maybe I will show you that in the next video. All my whips, all my ones that I have kitted up and ready to stitch, and then the sip and stitch from oh my word, this is something wrong with me. Oh wow, Primrose Cottage. Good heavens, that's what happens when you're in your mid-50s. Your brain starts going. I might need to use some supplements to help me to remember all these things. With Primrose Cottage, because lots of people haven't received their boxes yet, so everybody's being tight-lipped, not wanting to spoil what's inside there. But I will share that in the next video with you guys. Now, thank you if you joined me and listening to me. This is just the start of my cross stitch journey, so I don't know as much as those out there. I just felt I've always wanted to do crafting videos. I have done many, but most of that is private ones that usually goes with kits that I have designed, and I have a process video that people can watch. So I've never actually done my crafting on YouTube and just shared it on YouTube. I've been wanting to do that for a very long time, but now the cross stitch bug has gotten me, and I just started, now's the time to share. I mean, there's enough to go around for everybody, and it's just such a wonderful craft. And so you'll be seeing cross stitch, some um, maybe scrapbooking. I love making home decor, so there'll just be some seasonal crafty ideas, also videos around with my floss tube, for all of you. So for those that are starting looking at or wanting to cross stitch, and a beginner like me, please leave me a message. I would love to hear from you. Like the video, hype it for me so we can get some more beginner cross stitches out there to cross stitch with us and make a new beginner cross stitch community. So like I said, I don't have anybody to cross stitch with me, and I see a lot of mom and daughters starting floss tubes together and cross stitching together, and it's quite fun to see. So what I did was, I actually bought a pattern. My girls like Bridgerton, so I just want to show you. If I Let me just see here. Sorry, I put it out here for my daughter. Is that in here? Yes. So I went. You don't have to go to the online stores. You can also just go to Etsy. A lot of the designers also sell on Etsy. And it's when I was looking for, um, I like flowers, and I was looking at Easter, and I found the fresh cross stitch on Etsy. And I will also link her below. And she had this beautiful Easter bunny, and the inside of the Easter bunny was with flowers. So I thought I'll get that. And what she also does, her patterns are like for your 14 count Ada. You obviously can change it, but which I thought was nice. And so I bought Bridgerton. Oh, when I bought it, 120 by 200 stitches. When I got it, I thought, oh dear heavens, this is humongous. And then I realized, well, actually, it's not that big. And so my daughters love Bridgerton, and my 16-year-old, we were in the bookstore, and she saw all the hardcover Bridgerton books. Oh, they're beautifully designed with this gold leaf and flowers and that. And so I decided, I told, she says, oh, she wants to collect all of them and she wants to read them and put it on a bookshelf. And I said, okay, I will, if you cross stitch the Bridgerton cross stitch and you cross stitch with me, I will buy you every month, or as you go along and finish your cross stitch, I will buy you each book. Imagine having to bribe your own kid to do something crafty with you. So she said yes. So she's started just in a hoop with 14 count Ada and started her little outlines. So yeah, so I'm excited to get her to finish that, and it gets it's someone in the house to chat with and be crafty with. So yes, so if you guys are new and wanting to start, just go out to Hobby Lobby, get yourself, go online. There are many free patterns, and just try it. I would watch the Fat Quarter Shop's little process videos, or it's called Cross Stitch University on Fat Quarter Shop's YouTube channel. I will link that below for you, so you can just look at that. And yes, let me know if you started or if you recently started. Leave me a message, and hopefully we can be friends and learn this wonderful craft and wonderful crafting community. Join it and share together. So yes, thank you for joining me, and I hope to hear from you and see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.